Here we go with Top That Trade. Joining us today is Phil Flynn, a Fox Business Network contributor, and Alan Nuckman, an options trading pro. Guys, here it is, round number one. Search engine. The words Dow Jones were heavily searched as the Dow Jones was diving lower. What do you buy? Do you buy the blue chips or would you buy Google?
I think this could be a contrarian indicator. So what we saw was there was an increase in the search of Dow Jones.
And in the past, that means that people are worried
nervous
and they start to sell.
Well, but the thinking is, my thinking is that people get to a point of fear, and that's usually when the market's put in a bottom.
Oh, so you're saying the bottom
I
end.
think the DOW without the N is going to maintain itself. Now, the choice is, are you going to buy blue chips or are you going to buy the Google stock?
So if you knock off the Dow and you take N, it's down, and then if you take it off, it goes up? Is that
Well,
how it
that's my
works?
thinking.
I think you can buy both of them. I'm very bullish on the stock market and Google. I like them both. I think Google is going to have some regulatory issues.
That
coming
was
up.
my answer. My answer was both.
Yeah, but you know what? I'll tell you another thing about Google. The thing that I don't like about Google is they change their news search.
You don't like
Am I
when,
the
you don't
only
like when you
one?
just type in your name. You don't like the results.
No, actually, the results are pretty good. I'm sure you'll see more hits on Phil Flynn Oil. You can do it. Google that today. Versus Allen versus whatever. Back to
Whatever.
yeah.
Round number two, optimism wins. It's a fact. People who are optimistic live longer. What does the stock market need to stay alive?
That's right. Well, you got to be optimistic to live longer, and your retirement's going to have to be that much larger. So, it's a win-win, right?
That didn't sound very optimistic.
It is optimistic. I'm very optimistic. And people criticize me for being too optimistic.
I've heard that about myself as well.
I
So
know.
that's probably the only similarity that we have. We're both
Right.
very optimistic.
Right.
Optimistic about opportunity. There's always going to be opportunity. And for those people that aren't optimistic, you can become more optimistic. So you can live longer. So you can live. Do you want to live an extra 15%? I would think so. It pays to be optimistic.
There you go.
In
And
more
he'll
ways
send you
than
a
one.
check. If you're optimistic, he'll write you the check.
You live longer.
Round number three, big three, not autos. Japan passed China in terms of treasury purchases. What does this mean for the market?
It reminds me of those 1970s movies when Japan was taking over the United States.
they
Remember,
didn't.
What was that movie?
I think they bought a couple of movie studios.
Gung Ho.
And they
Remember
bought a
Gung
couple of
Ho
skyscrapers.
about
Right.
the lazy American workers, and now we just had the Netflix thing about the lazy American workers that came out. And it's like China's much better run company. Guess what? The United States economy outlasted Japan the first time. It's going to outlast China, so don't worry about it.
Well, it's going to outlast us,
Somebody's
which is
gonna
more
buy our
important.
bonds.
Which is more
Exactly.
important. Interesting
Well,
fact.
I'm more optimistic than you, so I'm gonna
interesting
stay
fact
longer,
that
so.
China's treasury purchases peaked in 2013. So everybody who seems to be very worried that they could sell their treasuries and cause chaos.
Yeah.
But obviously, the United States holds a lot more of those treasuries. They're a small percentage, but like I said, they peaked a long time ago. I don't think they're going to cause any damage, and the demand for our treasuries continues to go. Continues to be there, and the prices continue to move higher. People are buying them because in the chase for yield. So I don't see this as a bad sign. The fact that yields have come down, I see it as people are banking on U.S. strength.
I agree with you, but
That's
at the same
optimism.
time, well, no, it is. And the other thing about the China using treasury as a weapon, we heard Japan could have done
Right.
it years ago. You know what? The bottom line, that's a false narrative, because the only one they'd be hurting is themselves, because they're the owners of the darn things. If they start tanking the market, it's just going to cost them money. So it's not going to happen, not in a dramatic way. So don't worry about it. Be optimistic. Live longer.
On to your bonus round question for today. Can you name the top paid actress according to Forbes? Is it Sofia Vergara, Scarlett Johansson, or Reese Witherspoon?
I'm going to say Scarlett Johansson, even though I love Reese Witherspoon.
I'm going to pick the non-blonde just for fun.
Okay.
So that'd be the Sophia.
How do you know she's not blonde?
Well,
The answer is Scarlett.
Thank you, Scarlett.
Phil.
You wouldn't let me down. Scarlett,
Phil.
sweet Scarlett. Thank you so much.
send her a thank you note.
Thank you, Scarlett. Thank you. Thank you, Reese. We love you.
For more Business First AM, check us out on social media. We're on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. And go to businessfirstam.com for where to see our show on TV.